But right at the top, you'll see set a deposit limit. Once we're in there, you set your limit, set your time frame, hit save, and that's it. As easy as that. Remember, if you are having a dabble this basketball season, please do so responsibly, and I'll catch you tonight in the banter channels.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Sunday afternoon hoops here at Melbourne Park in the Hungry Jacks NBL, and it's an important game on the calendar for Melbourne United as they celebrate their multicultural round. We've got the Melbourne United up against New Zealand Breakers and Gazy. It's the battle of the next stars, Karim Lopez and Dash Daniels. What are you liking about the matchup for there?
Yeah, I think both those guys will see some time here today. Karim Lopez, it's in his second year and he's really shown what the NBL can do as far as player development. Dash Daniels very much at the start of his career. Don't know how much we'll see them actually match up against each other, but two shining stars that one day hopefully will be running around in an NBA jersey.
As I said, it's multicultural round. Are you going to get your face painted?
Face painting? Well, I don't know if I've got enough paint there for my big head, but it's fun. It's noisy, a lot of clapper action going on as well. Should be a cracking game. Let's hope that New Zealand can put on a better performance they did last time, where they got absolutely spifflicated here. So they're coming off a win. Should be a great contest.
Chris Golding swooping to the hoop. Golding for three. Into third place outright in career threes. Golding steps back, and you know what happens next. 100 games in a row with that man making a three-pointer.
One-man human fast break.
The circus finish.
The little big man.
Parker Jackson Cartwright showing why he is one of the top players in the competition.
It has been a perfect start to the NBL 26 season for Melbourne United. 6 wins without a loss so far, and they lead just about every category imaginable. And for the New Zealand Breakers, all of a sudden things start to look a little bit better, having won 2 of their last 3 games. Great to have your company here at John Cain Arena. I'm Jack Heverin, alongside Leonard Copeland, whose jersey hangs just up to my left over there. Copes, great to see you. Been a good couple of weeks here for the Breakers.
It has been, Jack. They've won 2 out of the last 3, and the one they lost, they should have won. They lost to Southeast Melbourne. But look, those guys are starting to play a lot better. PJC, Meninga, Parker, all those guys are starting to shoot the ball a lot better, and they're a lot more confident.
As Kelsey and Gazy spoke about off the top, 2 of the brightest young prospects in the NBL this season. Part of the Next Stars program, Karim Lopez, the teenager from the New Zealand Breakers, still on managed minutes, but every time we see him, he gets 1% better.
It still baffles me his age. The way he plays with these guys, he plays like a kid playing with adults. He's strong, he gets to the basket, he'll dunk on you, Jack, trust me. He can shoot the ball from outside, but his IQ is above the limits, it's above the top, because he never makes any mistakes.
You would swear that he's played the game of basketball for 30 years. That's how intelligent this kid is.
And I make jokes about it, but we maybe need to check his passport because the way he's out there playing with these guys, he'll be in the NBA for sure next year.
As we mentioned, only 20 minutes a game because of injuries so far, but has a big role to play today. And then Dash Daniels for Melbourne United, 17 years of age, first year here in the NBL. There are his numbers, but let's not forget a couple of weeks ago when Melbourne United played the New Orleans Pelicans. This kid looked so comfortable against an NBA team.
And you know how we can tell? Because the guys afterwards showed the respect. You know, those guys walked up to him and gave him a hug and said, look, we'll see you next year. He's just so smart. He's got the pedigree. His brother's a superstar. His dad's played. But the size, his defensive ability, look, once he gets his jump shot down, he's unstoppable.
There was a beautiful moment at the end of that game where Zion Williamson shook his hand, and it was basically like, we'll see you next year, kid. Sam Meninga might not be too far away from the NBA himself. Played Summer League with the Lakers. Have a look at the season that he's having.
He's having a special season, 16-9, Jack. He's a guy who can stretch the floor. He's a big guy, you know, and when you put him on the box, it's hard to guard him. And somebody must have had a chat with him because look at the difference in scoring. He's picked it up, Jack, and that's why they're playing better.
That matchup against Jesse Edwards going to be a big one today, and Jesse Edwards is mic'd up in the zone.
Yes, sir. Get up, Bloggy. Hey. Athlete. Hey. Thank you. Good dog. Reverse, Tanner, reverse. Yeah. Put in reverse, Tanner. Get up there. Hey. Yes, sir.
United on 3, 1, 2, 3.
United.
Well, that man right there is one of the starters for Melbourne United, along with Tyson Watercup, Milton Doyle, Finn Delaney, and Chris Goulding continues to come off the bench as Tanner Krebs keeps his starting spot after an impressive start to his NBL26 campaign. For the Breakers, Sam Menenga, Rob Baker, the next star, Karim Lopez. Isaiah Brockington had a much improved game last outing against Tasmania. And to close it out, one of the best in the league, PJC. Jack, over to you for tip-off.
Thank you very much, Kels. Looking forward to this one. Andrew Gaze, the New Zealand Breakers must be smarty after their 32-point loss to Melbourne in round one at this venue.
They've had a few games since then, and they've been up and down, but their recent form, as Coach mentioned, has been pretty good, despite the little hiccup against the South East Melbourne Phoenix, where they led for the majority of the game. But three-point shooting has been their biggest problem. They just haven't been able to put the ball in the hole.
Jackson Cartwright denied by Doyle. Tanner Krebs on the move. Might have got away with a little travel there. Delaney against the Breakers. He's nudged in the back.
And the real matchup is going to be PJC against Walker. Both of those guys are extremely quick on the floor. They both run the team. If PJC gets going, then that means Melbourne have a problem.
Well, they do, but as we mentioned, the three-point shooting for both those guys. Walker's missed, he's 0 of 10 in his last two games, and PJC well down on where he needs to be from the three-point line, only shooting at 16%. And we know he's a lot better than that.
Finn Delaney, whose NBL journey started with the New Zealand Breakers in 2015. Opens the scoring for the afternoon. Tyson Walker, Parker Jackson Cartwright, Copes. I know you're really looking forward to the point guard matchup.
I am, because I love the way they both can get going. With the speed, they both can score, and they're both very quick.
This pass inside. Jackson Cartwright found Baker, who we only saw for 9 minutes on Friday. Another import having some struggles in his first season here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Delaney, feet set.
Wow. It's as if he's playing against his old team. He wants to let you know what you missed out on.
Well, they're number one in three-point shooting overall, Melbourne United, and that's been a big reason why they've been able to start 6-0. For whatever reason, across this season, a lot of teams struggling from the perimeter, and that is a nice pick-and-roll action. Menenga, as you mentioned, inside-outside presence, and that big body, good athlete, finishing at the rim is going to be a big part of what the New Zealand Breakers need to do to stay in this game, and not just this game, this entire season. He's a big ticket item, and we've seen what he's capable of doing throughout the course of this season. Big unit, big strong body.
Spends a lot of time in the gym, I'm guessing.
Oh, look. Davidson guy as well, one of Derek's boys.
Yes.
So you've got to have a decent IQ to get into Davidson, which surprises the hell out of me with some of the decision-making of Derek Rucker.
Textbooks can only teach you so much, I'm guessing. We'll hear from Derek this afternoon. He's in Sydney for the Kings and the Wildcats up next. And Lopez, little handoff to Menenga, who took it upstairs.
Okay.
And very nearly finished Finn Delaney.
We got the foul. It was a late call, and I think it's a right call.
That's a grown man try, though, anyway. Let's have a look at this.
Good pass, good rolling action, and there's a lot of body contact there, so it's a correct call.
Been a good start, averages 15 points a game against Melbourne. He averages more points against Melbourne than any other team in the competition, Sam Menenga. There's not many that would say that.
The best thing about him is he can stretch the floor, Joe. He shoots the three quite well, but he's starting to rebound now, and him and Parker Jackson Cartwright, that duo are playing quite well together.
Tyson Walker still with that thumb taped up. Suffered a thumb injury against the New Orleans Pelicans a couple of weeks ago. Has played through it. Be a foul on the breakers. Kelsey Brown courtside for us this afternoon, and there's a lot of colour and a lot of noise for multicultural around, Kels.
There he is. I spoke to Finn Delaney before the game about the importance of this round and how well Melbourne United do it. I think it's important to note that during the week they took on some new activities. They learnt the haka as a group. He said the Americans had a little bit of trouble with that.
Oh, here we go.
I think it's great to see. I think it's great to see what Melbourne United do and how important it is to celebrate the inclusion and diversity that we've got in basketball in Australia.
This is a wonderful initiative. They do it every year, Melbourne. They do a great job of being so inclusive to everyone in this game. Tanner Krebs.
How good has he been the whole year? I don't know, Joey, would you leave Chris Golding on the bench? I mean...
No, I wouldn't. I think that eventually there'll come a point in time. 22 points, Chris Golding's coming off only in 19 minutes against Brisbane as well. So,
but that's what I mean. You got somebody, you got scoring off the bench.
Yeah, well, good luck. And that's a nice one by Brockington. But
I think that's a firm no, Coach.
I think Krebs, he can still play that role. He's accustomed to it. And I think ultimately Chris will work his way back into that position. These days, starting is not as relevant as it was years gone by, as Walker just easing his way to the cup.
Swatted away by Lopez. Brockington flies to the other end. Here is Tanner Krebs, averaging 11 points a game, 11.5 points a game. Career high numbers for him so far. Edwards had it knocked out of his hands.
Holding on 35. He's holding on.
Is that 2 fouls on
Black 35.
on Doyle?
Hold.
So an early conundrum for Dean Vickerman. Milton Doyle is playing a lot of minutes, 26 of them a game, but he'll have to come to the bench early in the first quarter with 2 fouls.
And why wouldn't you bring your boy CG off?
I think it's about positional more than anything, I suspect.
Rebound Jesse Edwards.
And with a lot of these next stars, that's the area of the game that really needs to develop, is the perimeter shooting and the 3-ball. Karim Lopez, the technique's not terrible at all. Just got a reps and down there he just got nailed to the floor. The little fella blown by.
He's fast, Tyson Walker. 8 steals on Friday night, set a new Melbourne United record. There's another one. For 3. Taylor Britt comes to the bench to check in for the Breakers. Jackson Cartwright almost had that one knocked away. Tyson Walker all up and in, making life difficult. Tarangi wasn't expecting it. 4 on the shot clock. It's not the set that Petteri Koppinen was looking for.
Edwards does a good job to use his length. Tarangi can shoot that. He's got the capacity to knock down the 3-ball. Chris Golding's just come to the commentary box and asked for a sub.
Yeah. Isaiah Brockington getting going. That's 5 points.
Well, he's another one that Big Raps had an outstanding pre-season, hasn't really reached the heights. Not playing poorly, 12 a game, but it's the 3-ball a game for him, only at 15%. He is far better than that, or should be. That's offensive.
Points are going to count for
Walker. And PJC is definitely not happy with that one.
Well, we're right in line, and it didn't look like he did a whole lot wrong.
I think we're about to see a coach's challenge here.
And I think he might win this one.
There's a push-off. It looked like Walker just extended the arm, which always is not helpful in a block charge situation when the offense extends their arm, but we'll get a look at it.
So Petteri Koppinen didn't even bother to wait for the video review. Each team's normally got someone who takes a look at these.
He might have been out of position a little bit, but that is a charge to me, Drew.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Whether technically it meets the criteria, but
come on,
certainly
from the naked eye.
Yeah, straight.
Oh, that's charge. That's charge.
Looks like he's leaned in.
Huh?
And it's just that he wasn't quite in position that might bring him undone. and the sliding of the feet probably doesn't get there just in time. And
Let's go, guys.
I believe it's going to be unsuccessful.
So the call on the floor stands. Coach's challenge unsuccessful. Scott Butler in the replay centre. Talk us through it, Scott.
Please.
All right, gentlemen, the defender has not got back in front in time and is still sliding to his right. Contact is not down the centre of the torso, but down the side. That means he has not established legal guarding position. The blocking foul will stand.
Thank you very much, Scott. Here's another look at it.
I reckon even Scott would think he's a bit stiff because we're splitting hairs a little bit.
Well, you're going by the book, then Scott.
But technically, that's all they can do. But
Yeah. I'm going to go with Scott before I go with you, Casey, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No, what I'm saying is I think Scott would even say, you know, maybe a no call.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to go with Scott, Coach, because he has the final say. So,
oh my word, and I don't dispute the technicalities of it.
Melbourne United by 4 when the teams played in round 1. They were winners by 32 points, but this Breakers team have started to build some confidence. Brockington's been a big part of that. Timeout Melbourne. Isaiah Brockington's got 7 first-quarter points, and Dean Vickerman not standing for any more of it.
No, he's not, and the thing you'd be disappointed in is on that zoom action. So it's the handoff followed by the screen on the wing. He's more concerned, I think, about the rules that they were trying to apply defensively, and that's what's got him up when they're not executing, because sometimes you're in the right place, but you're just not abiding by your team rules.
This is more of what we came to expect from Isaiah Brockington when we spoke to him pre-season at the Blitz. He spoke about having a little chip on his shoulder this season.
Honestly, I feel like every team except us in the NBL has a lot of hype around them. So it's like, it really is like motivating. I feel like we're all just a little bit extra motivated just because of the lack of attention that I feel like we get sometimes. Personally, as an import, I have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. Yeah, nobody really talked about, nobody cared that I came to this league, honestly, only the Breakers. So, yeah, I mean, you might see a little bit of that in my play, like if I'm just like a little bit extra, you know, hype or motivated out there.
Well, that's Isaiah Brockington, and Dean Vickerman had a lot to say about him in that timeout. He went straight to Dash Daniels and said, you know that pick is coming, get off it. He said, we're letting Isaiah Brockington do what he does best, and that's not what we came in to do today. On the offensive end, he said, we're looking for threes far too much, get your feet in the paint.
Wow. Chris Golding does exactly that.
He abides by the coach's instructions, and gee, he's good at that. He's renowned for his through ball, but he's such good when he's not perfectly on balance. He can still find a way to knock down the shots.
Lopez muscles in over the top of Golding.
Just so strong and so long, man. Got the big hands.
Just forced his way in over the veteran. First points of the afternoon for the next up. Here's the other next star in action today, Daniels. Down low to Bowen.
Oh dear. That's a little soft on call on Lopez as well. Down low, Cubs.
Little.
And there you see a contrast. Like down the other end, there's bully ball and there's no call down that end of the floor. And down here, a real soft action gets called for the foul. And I guess that they would argue, well, the difference is they made the bucket here and didn't make it down there. But still.
I don't want you going down easy, though.
See Chris complaining because hang on, he moved me off my line. He just went straight through me. And Chris sounded like he was saying, well, do I need to flop?
3 minutes 20 left in the first quarter. Melbourne by 4. New Zealand playing with some vigor. Isaiah Brockington has 9.
He's starting to feel it now. This is why I voted for him early in the season.
Oh, now you're back on board.
Took a little time for him to come back, but
he's giving Melbourne all sorts of problems in this first quarter. Low challenges Bowen at the rim.
Great pass by Daniels too when they have a look at the Amy replay. This is Brockington with the left, gets to his spot. And I think that's a little too low. There you see Krislovic in two minds because he's trying to guard both the roller. And that time just gives Brockington, who's on a heater. He's got 7 points. Too much time and space. Knocks down the easy mid-range jumper.
He's got 9 points, Drew.
But he already had 7. That's my point. If he hadn't had that, then I can understand the heads, the hesitation. But when the guy's already got 7 in 7 minutes, that's the time to close it out.
And sort of that's why I didn't call that timeout.
The best first quarter team in the competition, Melbourne. They are yet to lose. Quarter number 1, they averaged 28 points in Q1 and they concede 19.
Wow. Coming out of the blocks.
It's a bit of a different challenge that they're being thrown this afternoon.
Chris, you took him out. You took him out.
They called that on Chris Golding on the rebounding contest.
I think he was just boxing out. And Dean wants a timeout straight away.
Dean Vickerman might challenge this one straight away. Here's a look.
He didn't even look either. No, that's not a foul on Chris Golding.
So similar to what the Breakers did with their challenge, Dean Vickerman not waiting for a replay.
No, the video...
Just the naked eye is all Dean needed there.
Video guy did not have to sweat about that at all. He didn't even check with him.
No. What did he do?
No, not for me. He's boxing out. Now, again, whether technically that little... See, he puts his butt out.
Mate, what are you supposed to do when you're boxing out?
I'm just saying, but he's extended the butt. I'm just saying, technically...
Drew, you can't get off the fence, Drew. Tell us what it is.
Well, right now, I don't know which way they're going to go. So I personally don't think it's a foul on Golding. But technically...
We've been wrong twice.
Still being reviewed. New Zealand's was unsuccessful, so they've lost their challenge. You can see Petteri Koppinen in the top left, New Zealand Breakers coach.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a line ball one again. Hey, nothing to see here. Play on would have been my call. Don't even blow the whistle on that one. Let them sort it out. It's an unsuccessful challenge.
Wow.
And that's just the technicality of it again.
So Melbourne United are just getting the memo that the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. We're about to get an explanation,
please,
from Scott Butler in the replay centre. So both teams have now lost their challenges for the game with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the first quarter, which will be very interesting down the stretch if either coach needs one. Here's Brockington off the inbound. He goes down, gets back up. His last one to touch that.
He jumped so high on his jump shot.
He's heard the explanation from the official there, I believe he can. Well, we certainly did. You can't take the guy out of the rebound, but look at this.
Action-packed first quarter here at John Cain Arena. Bop. Speaking of action.
You better get your hands up when you're around him.
That is now 101 games in a row that Chris Golding has knocked down a three.
That is phenomenal. Unbelievable
record. First player ever to do it on Friday night against the Bullets with 100 in a row. Nice D from Krislovic. And then the hustle from Tom Wilson. Kept that ball alive. Golding pulls the trigger.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Oh, Lord of mercy.
Well, anytime anyone have thought that maybe after that delayed start to the season because of injury that it might take me a little while to get into it, my glory-filled days. This is some spectacular shooting here.
I'm getting him back in the starting lineup straight away, Jack.
See, now you change it. Look at this. Golding, after just making one, this is when he's at his most dangerous because he feels it, and that's deep and not terrible defense either. Just shoots over the top of him.
That has no right to go in, that one.
He has no right to take that shot.
Just did. And just like that, Melbourne United have got this out to a 10-point lead. You sleep on them for a minute or two, and they can start to put pain on. Nice D from PJC.
What's the three ball? It's really done the damage here in the last couple of minutes. They're 4 of 7 from the three-point line. As I said, they're #1 in three-point shooting this season. Darling gets called for an off-the-ball foul. Are they tightening things up compared to the start of the season with this off-the-ball stuff here? Because this is a sort of, I mean, there's a little bit of contact, but Chris is running into him just as much as he's pushing back. And that's the sort of call that I don't think we saw really in the first few rounds. So maybe they're tightening things up a little.
It's a rare miss from Chris Golding. In his first game of the season last Sunday, a delayed start to the year because of a quad injury. You wouldn't know it by the way that he's playing.
Didn't miss a beat. 15 points in the first quarter, I think. I mean, the first half, I think he had.
Scored the last 9 points in the game, Melbourne United. They've done a lot of things right here, the Breakers, but this is an important minute and a half before quarter time. It's fine from Jackson Cartwright. Darling checks the feet. That's short. PJ Sowling with the one field goal attempt in this first term. And Chris Reed was standing right on halfway, so had a good look at it.
Took off from behind. They're saying he took off in the backcourt and his foot didn't come down before he caught it.
1, 2, 3.
Zaylee Arthur out there as well as Carlin Davison. Both coming off the bench for the Breakers. Jackson Cartwright, swift hands from Daniels. Walker flies up the court. Davison took it out of the air, but points will count.
Always a tough play when you're trying to block the shot when you're that close to the rim. There you see it. That's a goaltend.
Breakers are just desperate for a score right now. Brockington off the floor to finish off the quarter. We haven't seen a lot of Rob Baker either, who's got 2 fouls. Menenga wants to get to that left hand, and he's so hard to stop when he spins.
He's so strong, man. Big body.
Melbourne happy to slow this down. Wind the clock down and have one meaningful possession to finish off the term. Tyson Walker surveys his options, pulls up over the top of Darling. Offensive rebound, Krislovic can't score. It's Melbourne United who lead at quarter time at John Cain Arena, 28-17. Chris Golding heating up in the opening quarter with 9 points on 3 of 3, which is a worrying sign for the New Zealand Breakers this afternoon. This is Sunday Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL, and it's all brought to you, of course, by the great people at Choice Hotels.
That's it, boy.
I've spoken to Sam as well. Just watch, you're both grabbing each other's arms. There's not much in it, but we don't want to get ones on that from you guys.
Yep.
Jesse Edwards mic'd up for us this afternoon. Melbourne United leading 28-17 at John Cain Arena. A multicultural game as part of a Sunday doubleheader. Sydney and Perth still to come at Kudos Bank Arena. The Breakers started the game really well, but fell away at the back end of the first quarter. Carlin Davison can't score. Bernard Copeland, Andrew Gaze in commentary.
Well, Davison had the wide open three. Now he has the ability to knock it down. Instead, went for the drive and a tough shot, but Copes quite extraordinarily, to me anyway. In that first quarter, both teams, 11 players saw time on the floor.
That is unheard of back in the day. Unheard of, Jack.
Well, not just back in the day. I think that's unusual for most leagues in the world.
They are two teams who use their bench a lot. Speaking of that, Tom Coppins with his first points of the afternoon. Kelsey Brown, you were listening in at quarter time.
I was. Well, Petteri Koponen was calm, but it was Sam Menenga that talked about the body language and the perceived pressure from Melbourne United. He said, we've been weak, we've got no physicality, it looks like we're getting bullied at the moment. And Petteri Koponen, just off that wide open three that Carlin Davison passed off, he turned around and he said, if you're not going to shoot that, you can sit on the bench.
100%. Now, somebody makes a move and kicks you the ball, and you're wide open. You drive back into the danger to try to get a better shot when you're wide open. I don't understand it.
Only been a minute and 20 seconds, but Petteri Koponen wants to stop things immediately. Timeout called, 32-17. Very quickly, this is slipping away from them.
No, this is a very dangerous period here. We saw what happened in round one, and it was a real one lopsided affair, and this has got that stench about it as well. And they can identify some missed shots. It's been their problem throughout much of the start of the season for the New Zealand Breakers, but right now they just can't get any stops. The pick and roll is just openings all over the joint on any sort of on-ball action.
Absolutely gobbling them up right now. The Breakers trailed by 2 when the score was 17-15. Since then, it has been all Melbourne United, unfortunately. Indigenous round starting next week as well here in the Hungry Jacks NBL, which is very, very cool. Round 6 and 7 dedicated to Indigenous round. You can jump online now, nblstore.com.au. You can scan the QR code to check them out. Here's a little sneak peek at what the Breakers and Melbourne United will be rolling around with next week.
Yeah, very nice. They do a great job. A lot of stories behind the creations as well. Beautiful stuff.
Scan the QR code, Copes. You know how to scan QR codes?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Does the man to your left know how to do it?
Oh, my word. My word, I do it all the time. Spectacular. Modern technology, I'm all over it.
Julian, I called last night's game, and the thing that I don't see a lot of in today's basketball, I shouldn't say that, some teams, is when you're down like this and you're not playing great, there's nobody on the floor taking charge. There's no huddle. There's no one saying, get back. Or, yeah, the coach can yell that all day long, but you get sick of hearing the coach's voice. You need that leader on the floor, and I don't know who the guy is here.
Saw that with Illawarra. Milton Doyle putting on the moves. It is a 17-point lead.
Well, it's 53% from the field, and you can see why with the type of scoring opportunities they're getting, as opposed to the Breakers down here.
It's not first time for Menenga. Does score. That's the Breakers' first points of this second term.
Go back. I said go back to it.
Well, right now it's Menenga with 8, Brockington with 9. Karim Lopez is their only other scorer in the game thus far. An offensive foul on Edwards.
Gee.
That's his first. Milton Doyle back out there with 2. Rob Baker also has 2 for the Breakers. Brockington looks much more confident, had 9 points in the first quarter. He's ridden the wave a little bit to start this season. There he is, wide open for three.
He's starting to feel himself, which is making Dean Vickerman
a little agitated.
Yes, sir, because he's...
That hurts. When you make a three, you feel like, let's get some momentum straight away. That's snapped by a Milton Doyle three. So many options. It's Melbourne United so far ahead when you think of this season, of where they're at this time of the season. You saw the Amy replay. There's a three ball that upset Dean Vickerman, but less than 8 seconds later, Milton Doyle answers.
Just walked into that one, didn't he? Jackson Cartwright unsuccessful. Not having a good season from long range, only 16%. He's a better shooter than that. Very quickly wins it back and puts his head down. That time it goes.
He's a player, man. He's a player. And I'm going to give him a bit of a break, because in the beginning of the season, he had a rib injury. Probably tough to get going. But he sort of found his feet.
So they brought it back to 12. Next challenge for the Breakers is to get it back inside single figures. Doyle looks at the shot clock, steps back. Strong body work from Menenga. Second rebound of the game to go with his 8 points. Jackson Cartwright, a good driver in heavy traffic, which is a good thing in this city. He can't score, though. Lopez for Menenga. 3 of 9 from deep. The Breakers this afternoon. Doyle swatted away.
Lopez said, no, sir.
And then Krislovic returns the favour at the other end. Doyle, that hurts.
Good ball movement. And from one end to the other, in the passing, the extra pass, very unselfish. It's been a highlight, and Brockington continues his work. Strong finish at the rim, but one of the highlights of Melbourne United has been how unselfish they've been. Their willingness to move the ball, share it around, passing up good shots for great ones.
7 assists on 13 makes today. They are second in the competition for assists. There's another one for Krislovic.
Coach, you mentioned about people getting angry and trying to hold people to account, but just the physicality's not there for the Breakers on the defensive end right now.
Yeah, all the teams don't have it. Everyone doesn't have it. We called it a war game last night, and the fact that they were down by 30 and it just didn't bother anybody was a concern to me.
Now here's a lineup on the floor that we see for Melbourne United, and really no designated point guard, and it's by committee that they do it, with Chris and Milton, and even the bigs getting off the rim and bringing it down. And I'm not sure we've seen a lineup like this where we haven't seen Tommy Wilson or Dash Daniels or one of the more, or Walker, the guards, in there.
Certainly working for Adelaide this year. Haven't got a designated point guard. They do happen to have a guy who can just drop 50 whenever he feels like it.
Hey. Do not forget about that three. It was 53.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would never rob the benchmark of points. So pure as driven snow, that jump shot.
So easy, man. Just catch and shoot, catch and shoot.
Lopez baseline, nice take.
See, right now, Krebs is guarding Parker Jackson Cartwright. I'd be going to him, ISOs, or even in the on-ball situation, and see if he can keep him in front.
Uh-oh. He was too open.
That was a wide open he's been the whole time, and he barely hit the rim.
Henry Coppinen saw Chris Goulding there and put his head in his hands before he even shot it. They got away with one there, the Breakers. Here's Brockington in the mid-range this time. 16 points, 16 of New Zealand's 31. Goulding with 12 is Melbourne's leading scorer.
Oh dear.
Finds a part to the basket, Goulding doesn't score. Baker left alone in the corner. Can't hit that three ball. Chris Levitt goes down.
It's going up. Oh.
It's just a kick.
I think he kicked it as well.
Thank you.
Just by any means necessary, Rob Lowe, do whatever you need to do.
I think Chris Goulding's still steaming about that last layup because I think someone hit the backboard.
Oh, he's lucky. Like, you put your leg out, and I know it wasn't a heavy collision, but it's a reflex action, I understand, but yet that can be super dangerous.
45-31. Sunday hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Goulding stepping back over Davison.
Oh,
this is a show.
I think he's getting better. You think, Joey?
Well, right now he's in the groove, but I just can't believe the freedom of movement that he's getting. The defense here is just highly reactive.
Breakers are still finding ways to score like that, but they can't get a stop at the other end. Melbourne continuing to push the tempo because it's working.
Well, they're getting beaten both inside and out. 8 of 14 from the threes.
Screens.
Thank you.
If you look down, you'll miss a score.
Absolutely.
There's shades of when they played in round one. Melbourne outscored New Zealand in fast break points 36-4 in that game. It's not quite as heavily weighted in that favour at the moment, but Melbourne are playing with pace coats and it's causing problems.
They are. They're pushing it. As soon as New Zealand score, Melbourne are right back in your face. And you know what's amazing? Like, Dean Bickerman was never one of those coaches that just let you shoot the ball whenever you want. Now,
great pass, Davison. Jackson Cartwright does the rest. So there's a stop and a score.
and at least we see some fight. I mean, New Zealand are down, but they're not out of this.
Tanner Krebs crosses over on Davison and lays it up.
Coach, you say that, and I understand that, 14 points down, but I have not seen the noticeable change on the defensive end to say that they can find a way to get through this. If they're just going to come out here and hope they get hot and outshoot them, that is a formula for a heavy loss. You've got to see a marked improvement at this end of the floor if they're going to turn this around. Rob Lowe, heavy contact.
Guys, just huddle. I'm going to review the play. Huddle, please.
See Edwards with a hard landing.
Shoulder.
Let's have another look here.
Yeah, that has a reasonable chance for an upgrade.
Certainly got his money's worth, Rob Lowe.
Now, to me, I wouldn't. I don't think it's an upgrade to me. But where are we two?
You're 0-2.
You were with me every step of the way. You were with me. And the Mitsubishi Motors.
Yes, please.
Just doing a terrific job with their work in the NBL. And as predicted, it is just a regulation foul. So we got one right. Well, we didn't get it right. We got agreements from others, but.
63% free throw shooter.
Nice.
There's one or two there. Six wins, yet to lose Melbourne United. They are the #1 team for points per game, the #1 team for points allowed per game, number 1 for offensive rating, number 1 for defensive rating.
Number 1 for three-point percentages.
It's an incredible profile that they've had to start the season.
And I said last night, Dane Vickerman's done a great job of recruiting because he has a backup that can do the same thing your starter can do in every position.
Number 1 for rebounds, number 1 for bench points. It ticks a lot of boxes, what they've done so far. Still a long way to go in the season. But
and the fact that, like Drew said, they're so unselfish, that plays a key role. You're not worried about scores. You're not worried about getting your numbers. Just keep this thing going.
Menenga for 3. That's a good look. You'd be disappointed with that. Chris Golding, 15 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 4 of 5 from deep. Has been the chief engineer in Melbourne United, blowing this one open in the second quarter. Here he is. Ask and you shall receive. First half points from Chris Golding, 5 made threes. He's unstoppable.
I still think he's getting better. It was always great.
Whenever you're going, there's when you're coming away from the basket too. Like it was a pin down, Chris coming away, but the legs and the way he's able to build that base around that shot, big part of why he's such a good three-point shooter.
Here's Kelsey Brown.
Yeah, I'm here with Tyson Walker. Tyson, you have to be happy with that first half, the pace and the scoring spread, but I need to ask about Chris Golding. What do you do when he's in a mood like this?
You just got to find him. We all know he can shoot it, so we got to try to make it as easy as possible for him to get shots.
On the other side of things, New Zealand, they're still finding ways to score. You can't break away fully just yet. All through Isaiah Brockington, how do you curb his flow the second half?
We got to be more physical. We're letting him get too many easy shots and just slow him down from getting downhill, and then we'll be in better shape.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
53 plays 38 and multicultural round here at John Cain Arena. It's Melbourne United having their way with the New Zealand Breakers. Gazy, Copes and I will be back for the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights right after this.
To celebrate the special person of our loss and child,
Sunday afternoon hoops here in Melbourne, and it's getting ugly for the New Zealand Breakers. Melbourne United 56 plays the Breakers 38, and it's all at the hands of Chris Goulding. Here's our halftime look at the stats. As I said, 56-38. Andrew Gaze, Chris Goulding's been absolutely on fire.
Chris Goulding is going through one of those moments that as a youngster when you're growing up and you feel it like you're in the groove. It is one of the greatest feelings you have in sport, where the ring looks like a hula hoop, the pace of the game is right in your sweet spot and everything's dropping in. He has been spectacular, and just over a few ticks over 9 minutes, he's got 18 points. And yeah, there's been a few contested ones like that, and for him, that's a relatively easy three. There's not the physicality. Like, even there, you're giving him a little bit of space. Still a tough shot, but when you've got the elite out there, you've got to be much, much more physical. And whether it's off the dribble, off the pin down, we saw to close out the game, he can hurt you in so many ways. And there just doesn't seem to be the adjustment or the attention to detail on how physical you be. To me, they should be telling their players, test the limits of the officials when you're guarding Chris Goulding and he's 6 of 8 and 5 of 6 from the three-point line. Just way too much freedom out there.
Yeah, as you said, in his Blackmore players chart, 5 from 6 from the field. I think he had his eyes on Angus Glover last night and what he was doing. But on the other side of things for the Breakers, Isaiah Brockington, he's had a really tough start to the season, had 17 points last outing against Tassie, starting to find some form. But he's been a little bit on fire here today, 16 points at the half.
This is the Brockington we're looking forward to from the preseason. Me and Damon Lowry both picked him to be in the all-star starting five because he was aggressive. He could get to the basket, he could shoot the three. He was aggressive. Now, at the end of the day, if he can continue to play like this, then he'll have a job somewhere.
They started to go away from him a little bit towards the back end of that. Hopefully they can find him in the second half. But we've got a massive game coming up after this. It's Sydney Kings and the Perth Wildcats. Let's get to Derek Rucker and Brad Rosen to get some thoughts on the game.
Hi team, yes, well we are very excited. I've got Derek Rucker here. Ruck, both teams coming off some really ordinary losses, Sydney to Tasmania and Perth at home versus Brisbane. How do you see today?
Well, yeah, those were both bad losses. Sydney's was kind of excusable because Tasmania are an outstanding team and they're tough in Tasmania, but Perth losing to Brisbane really stung them in front of the Red Army. So I expect two teams really energized today. And Brad, I know it's early in the season, but no one can afford to lose right now, in particular Sydney here on their home floor.
Well, Perth did something dramatic after that loss. Mason Jones, he's gone. He's been told you're no longer. He's on a flight back to the States. How do you think that will work for Perth today?
Well, I can tell you from the jump, I never liked the fit. I thought it clogged up their guard rotation, and unless he was outstanding and dynamic with the basketball, which we never really saw, then I thought a move needed to be made. Now, I think today Perth are much freer in the guard rotation, and that will give the opportunity to Ben Henschel to get to see if he can get some confidence going in NBL 26.
Well, guys, Derek, let me share the limelight here a little bit. Of course, I just wanted to just ask him questions. He didn't let me tell you. Have a great afternoon, but we will see you at 4:30 for a great game.
By the way, Drewy, you keep using that hula hoop line. I patented that line like 15 years ago, bro. Give me some money.
Here we go again.
Absolutely. We love hearing from those guys. Can't wait to see what you guys have ahead. But 20 minutes left here in the Breakers with plenty to do.
Derek knows the name of the unnamed soldier.
Some talents are born, others are built. Kareem Lopez is projected to be a top NBA draft pick in 2026. Known for its versatility, athleticism, and shooting skills, the 18-year-old Mexican prospect is committed to his dream and playing in the NBA. And he has been relentless in his pursuit. Luckily for Kareem, he has immense support from not only the people in his own country, but those in Australia and New Zealand. They're in his corner on his journey to the NBA. Let's take a look at Kareem's story, thanks to Amy.
Nice, rotate, rotate.
Obviously my dream since I can remember has been to play in the NBA. And overall the league, how the Next Stars program is, it was a pretty good option. I think probably the first time I heard it was because of LaMelo.
It was a decision that we made as a family. You know, we thought it was the right decision because, you know, knowing the NBL, that is a proven path now, and that would make Kareem grow as a person, grow as a player, kind of give a step forward on his development and, you know, his ultimate goal.
Nice, Kareem.
Kareem is special talent. We can see some flashes when he start to play also with the ball, and the shot is getting better, and the sky is only the limit for Kareem.
Lucky you're with Amy.
The sky is certainly the limit for Kareem Lopez, thanks to Amy. There's his story. He's got 4 points at halftime on 2 of 3, a couple of rebounds and a couple of blocks to go with it as well. But it is Melbourne United firmly in control. We're very fortunate to have Dean Vickerman mic'd up for us to start the third quarter for something new. Dean, we appreciate your time.
Dean, can you tell us about your starting lineup? A little different, huh?
Yeah, we were in exactly the same position against Brisbane the other night. We came out poorly, so I'm not doing the same thing again, and put some younger guys out there, get some energy for us.
But what about your 37-year-old? He's just whacked up 18 points, so I reckon we might like to see him get going when he's in this type of mood.
Yeah, he was great with it. He's like, just go back to traditional starters. I still changed up, but we'll get him in pretty early.
What you pleased you most, the offense or the defense? You were excellent at both ends of the floor, but in that first half?
Yeah, I thought their pace against Tassie the other night and their offensive rebounding were two keys. I think we're boxing out pretty well right now. When you turn it over, it's a problem against this team getting back, though.
And you had a bit of a let-up against Brisbane. You put yourself in a commanding position. To remind the fellas that you can't take the foot off the gas.
No, I did. So we got to come out well here. Thanks, fellas.
Good on you, buddy.
Dean Vickerman, coach of Melbourne United, mic'd up for us to start the third. We appreciate Melbourne United for their access and trying something different.
I reckon you're happy to do it when you got an 18-point lead at half.
Could you imagine trying to talk to a coach when you're getting smoked?
Yeah, now that'd make it more entertaining.
Yeah, that'd be more fun.
Yes.
Could you imagine if about halfway through the last quarter, Copes, if we said to Justin Tatum last night, can we put a microphone on you for a little bit?
Why are you down by 40 in the fourth? That's what he'd ask. That's funny.
Oh, dear. Lopez goes 1 of 2. First 2 or 3 minutes of this third quarter, what's most important for New Zealand here to try and get back in this game?
Establish some authority on the defensive end.
Pretty straight to the point. Baker wrestles it free. Picked up 2 fouls early. Had to walk the tightrope for most of that first half. Lopez steps out of play.
The amount of times these guys have stepped on that end line.
I think that was the sideline.
Sideline,
that occasion. Yeah.
Sideline. Maybe their feet are getting bigger. I don't understand it.
Must be all the chicken, Coach.
Yeah, maybe. I just can't remember doing it.
Tom Coppin starting the third quarter. As Dean Vickerman said, different lineup.
It was good reward for a first half. He was aggressive, and in the minutes that he had, he came on, was 2 of 2 from the field in the 5.5 minutes or so, and he looked aggressive. And it's one of the issues that Dean's got. He's got guys that are worthy of playing a lot more minutes than they currently are, and just trying to find ways to find minutes for them is going to be a challenge, not just in this game, but throughout.
He seems to do it in a way, though, Drewy, that it's not subbing to the clock, or it's not subbing to try and get everyone a look. He still gets everyone involved, but does it based on what the game needs.
It's hard. in the first half, he got 12 players court time.
You know what you need? Number one thing you need is buy-in, because a lot of players today would not be happy with 12 guys playing in a 40-minute game.
Turnover, New Zealand. Quick push from Melbourne United, and Walker for three. He's deep. Kareem Lopez takes care of the rebound. Parker Jackson Cartwright's an interesting one. Has 8 points. Walked past us at half-time. Very, very frustrated.
Yeah, he was directing his frustration at the officials. And when you're 18 down, I'm not sure, as much as there were some occasions there we thought that maybe they didn't get the benefit of the doubt. There's a foul.
So there was a push before the Jackson Cartwright incident. Let's have a look.
And that's 4 fouls on Edwards.
So Jesse Edwards, just in the bottom part of the screen.
I know it's accidental. I know it's accidental, but you've gone through it still.
Trying to argue his case.
And this is an area, like if you're looking for some vulnerability long term, let's just say you never want to wish this, but let's just say Edwards is out for a little while. They don't have a great depth in that position. And now we see a real tightening up. Walker gets called for a foul in the backcourt.
It's 5 fouls called in a minute and
almost
59 seconds.
57-39 still to come. Sydney and Perth, massive way to finish off round 5 at Kudos Bank Arena. That's a good look. Jackson Cartwright for Menenga. Timeout by Melbourne.
Oof, early one.
Breakers starting to build a little something to start the third quarter.
And this is a thing that, you, as a coach, you've got that juggling act now. They've still got a very comfortable margin, but it's hard. And you really got to hold yourself back when you've got a guy who's just popped in 18 points and 6 of 8 from the field to not get him straight back in there.
Jesse Edwards is mic'd up for us this afternoon, but unfortunately he's found himself in some foul trouble. Here he is in the zone.
Go, boys. I'm here. Go, take it, go. Hey, corner.
Golding stepping back.
Hey! Yeah, I'm on.
There he is, 4 fouls, so you'd expect that we won't see him pretty much for this third quarter.
You'd expect not. But, if I'm New Zealand, I'm going big. I'm going to the glass. I'm going post up. Melbourne United don't have anybody out there who can guard Menenga on the box.
Melbourne lead 57-42, but it was Dean Vickerman who called the timeout. Kelsey, what did he have to say?
Well, you spoke about Dean Vickerman moving the pieces, and he's gone with this group and he's asked for much more urgency from them. He said we need some intensity, we need some urgency, so he's happy to put people out there who he thinks he's going to get it done. He looked at Tyson Walker and he said, there's too much standing from you. You need to get moving.
He's not going to be pleased with that turnover. Menenga got rid of Krislovic.
What?
And then drains the 3.
Hey, man. Dean's coming back with the...
Well, now the experiment lasted 2.5 minutes. And Doyle, Golding, and Delaney getting ready to check back in.
When you've scored 1 point for the quarter, equal opportunity only lasts so long.
Yeah, that's right.
It's been a good run from New Zealand. Walker off target. Jackson Cartwright. He's got that look in his eye, determined to try and bridge this gap. Menenga draws a closeout.
Really good rotations that time on the defensive end by Melbourne United.
Coppins misses a bunny. He'll be disappointed with that. Breakers down 12. They've certainly been the better team to start quarter number 3. PJC, free ball is good.
He's getting a little cocky with it too, isn't he?
Seems like he might have a few words of advice for Coach Vickerman.
He's no stranger to words of advice. Big time from Tanner Krebs. Great response for Melbourne.
He is an automatic all year long.
39% from deep for the season. He's relishing his role as a starter in this Melbourne team. Sam Menenga relishing the role of being one of the primetime players for New Zealand.
He's been a big part of it. A couple of threes in the start of this second half. But the Amy Root play of PJC and the step back, he's had all sorts of problems. I don't know whether it was directed at Dean, but it was certainly in that general area.
Maybe he thought Derek was here.
He did scare Derek, let me tell you.
No doubt about
he scared him.
No doubt about that.
Derek put him right back in the top 15, number 1, and wanted to shake his hand afterwards. Come on. I called Derek and said, Derek, bro, he's not going to hit you, man. Just calm down. I got your back.
Well, he was going to jump the table that day.
What about him trying to claim that he invented the ring? It's like, oh, look, I mean, I've heard it all now.
Pass, Krislovic takes care of the rest. Better offense from Melbourne, more efficient. They lead by 12 on Sunday Hoops. Here in the Hungry Jacks NBL, Jackson Cartwright. He's having himself a good third quarter. Krislovic pushes Menenga out. Now he's a little chippy back at the Melbourne bench as well.
When you're playing against the best team in the league, you got to find a way to get yourself going. And trash talking sometimes helps, Joey. Let me tell you.
Well, Menenga and Krislovic in deep in conversation as we speak. It's another one. I don't know, do you need to call that foul? He got the rip board. It didn't take him out of the play.
It's the first foul for Sam Menenga. Doyle, smooth as always. 64-50. Breakers with a quick push, but it comes undone. Doyle backs in over the top of Liafa. Leaves that one off to the side. Melbourne have settled. Since Dean Vickerman's timeout, we laid the law down.
Well, he brought back three starters as well. That certainly helps.
That's a pretty shot. He's worked on that too, hasn't he?
Lopez takes it back to 11. 64-53. Delaney with a size advantage. Pass underneath was excellent for Krislovic.
The spin by Delaney, quick on the box.
Oh. They cough it up again, the Breakers. 2-on-1 up ahead. Timeout coming.
Turnovers.
Melbourne back to a 15-point lead.
The turnovers that Melbourne United will make you pay. And that was, I put that in the unforced category, just sloppy by the Breakers, and an easy 2 just to ease the tension. They get it back to 11. United go bang, bang, get their margin back out to a comfort level that I think makes it a little easier when you're out there offensively. When you've got this type of lead, the game comes a whole lot easier. They need some scoreboard pressure as well to make some of those shots a little tougher.
Well, it was when Dean put his starters back, his real starters, back in the game is when they sort of calmed down and started playing Melbourne United basketball.
Sydney and Perth coming up next at Kudos Bank Arena. The Sydney Kings. Hard to get a read on them so far this season, and the Perth Wildcats have made a change. No more Mason Jones, so an import spot available. More minutes perhaps for Jaron Riley.
Yeah, that's right. And it's an interesting phase for both these teams. Although we're still relatively early in the season, it's when you're jostling for those positions at the end of the season, which can make a big difference. Are you in the top 2, not in the top 2, in the top 4, not in the top 4? These are the games that can come back to haunt you. And we've seen some remarkable turnarounds from teams that have just burped up all over themselves and then bounced back in incredible fashion.
Saw Southeast Melbourne do it last night. Kelsey Brown, you were listening in.
I was to Petteri Koppanen, but it's more a question I want to ask Gazy and Leonard. You mentioned Mason Jones has been cut as well as a few imports throughout this NBL 26 season already. I want to know about Rob Baker. He's out there at the moment, 13 minutes, 0 points. He's averaging 19 minutes, 11 points on the season. What are you thinking from him?
Well, if you want the honest answer, he has to get more. Say what you want to say. He's got the size. We know he can shoot it, but he has to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end. What's the use in bringing someone out here when you're not contributing on the offensive end or the defensive end? So, for me, he's got to pick it up.
We saw him for 9 minutes on Friday in their win over Tasmania.
To me, he's the sort of guy that would thrive better in a more system orientated, so he knows where he's going to get his shots. Right now, pick and pop guy hovers around the three-point line, but have a little bit more structure rather than just through the natural course of play, read and react type stuff. But I think he's got some skill. He can shoot the three ball for a big fella.
There is Rob Baker. His numbers certainly not as high as we expected. 10 points, 4 rebounds a game. Played in Germany last year at Alba Berlin. There's been some imports who have found out that this right here is not a cupcake league.
And Drew, have you ever, since you've been around a long time, my friend. Now,
since Naismith.
Have you seen the amount of imports being cut this early in the season?
There have been a few, there's no doubt about that, but I guess when you've got more on your roster, you've got more to cut. For many years, it was just 2 imports. Now there's 3 plus others. So, and it's so tight, and everyone looking for that magic formula. And that is just no help for Ruben Tarangi. Chris Golding goes around him. Way too easy.
It's just helpless, Ruben Tarangi. Waiting for the Chris Golding 3 ball to go up. Instead, he put it on the floor. Final 2 minutes of this third term. Super important one for the Breakers to stay in touch. Liafa has already knocked down 1. Can't make it a second. Delaney, Wilson, Krislovic, Doyle, Golding out there for Melbourne. Here is Fabian Krislovic. Liafa, Britt, Tarangi, Lowe and Davison for the Breakers. Lowe against his former team. Had his arm chopped. Not sure what Chris Golding's arguing there.
Fake here. Fake. 43.
Oh, flop called or a fake on Chris Golding.
Perhaps that's what he was arguing.
Bonus 2. Bonus 2.
Melbourne over the limit, so Rob Lowe will shoot free throws. His 3rd stint with the New Zealand Breakers. 2016 was where it all started for him in NZ. This time last year was Melbourne's starting centre.
And he was doing quite well, didn't he? He gave him a lift last year.
Well, what he's been good at, he's been a stretch 4, a stretch 5. This season, the 3 ball has deserted him a little, but across his career, 34, 35% 3-point shooter. He just needs to find some of that form.
Golding has been slowed down a little bit in this third quarter. Bowen had a nice position inside. Taylor Britt happy to wear that foul. Had one to give.
Drew, you spoke about New Zealand and their defense. They picked it up a little bit.
Well, they have. They certainly have, and I think that picked it up a little, but the combination of that and much better offense, they're knocking down some shots, they've knocked down some 3 balls. So the combination at both ends has helped them.
Great D, Liafa. Off the inbound, Melbourne always looking for Chris Golding. Isaiah Liafa was awake to it. And then the steal. Britt flies to the other end. Great D, Krislovic. Walker doing his best to hang on to it. Did well. Golding for Bowen. Back to a 13-point lead.
What a heads-up play by Walker on the spin, got a little out of control, then went to his curly kneel action, and that didn't work, so he just flicked it out, and the guy was there. Have a look at this. Just trying to get a handle of it, but just knowing where your teammates are. And good pass, good find by Chris Golding.
New Zealand with 2 wins for the season, both coming in within their last 3 games. They're a different team. Colin Davison! That was nasty!
You see that coming.
18, let's go.
Bouncy.
Fabian Krislovic made a really interesting business decision there.
Yes, indeed.
Oh dear.
He's already given me a burger. No, we haven't.
Not yet.
No burgers yet?
Last night, there were burgers. On the way home, coach. Little treat. Colin Davison not in a giving mood. That was exciting. Before this season's done, I know we don't have Dunk of the Year, but if we did, he'd win it.
Absolutely.
He's going to do something spectacular this NBL 26 season. Shot clock down to 8. Here's Golding right in front of the New Zealand bench to rub salt into the wounds.
That's tough. Liafa going over the top of the screen. Better off trailing.
Good response from Rob Lowe. And the Breakers are in this with a quarter to play. 75-63. Sunday hoops at John Cain Arena, and this time the Breakers refusing to lie down the 4th quarter. He's up next.
Same energy, TK. Even more, bro. The same aggression. Come out the gate. I'm low. I'm low. Hey. Hey.
I got low. Send him here. Way to fight, Tice. Way to fight. Let's go back. Help him. Good Fab.
There's Jesse Edwards mic'd up in the zone, and there's Shea Ili not playing again today for Melbourne United, a hamstring injury in the game against the New Orleans Pelicans. But we did see him out here having a full-blown warm-up about an hour and a half before the game, Julian Copes, and he looked pretty good.
They did. Knocking down some shots, moving freely. So encouraging signs for him.
Breakers start this fourth quarter down 12.
They need to continue to be successful from the three-point line as Holding gets to the cup. But first half, they were 4 of 14, they're 6 of 9 in that third period. And that was really the difference, their ability to convert. And there's another one from the three-point line.
And that's what he can do. He can stretch the floor. Nice jump shot, but we need a bit more from you.
The teams met in round one. It was a blowout. 32 points was the margin. This is a much better performance from New Zealand. It's certainly not perfect, but they're in the game.
Absolutely, and you can tell they're getting better. I mean,
they've been able to answer whenever, like that time they get it back to 11, and they've come up with some big plays at big moments, Melbourne United. Just outstanding from the three-point line. 12 of 23.
11 points for Tanner Krebs. That's a wild one from Baker.
I think Bowen got a piece of it.
I think he might have.
Baker's shot.
Sam Menenga's, he's just worn one where you don't really want to be wearing one.
Got one in the orchestras, which is never pleasant.
No, sir.
Amazing how many names you can come up with. Oh, Davison off the inbound.
Just an athletic fool.
First challenge for New Zealand, much like it was in the third quarter. Get it back inside single figures.
Yeah, get it over the hump.
Walker swings for Tanner Krebs. Similar spot, similar result.
He has been automatic.
It does pose a question about Melbourne's lineup, Copes, that I know Andrew Gaze is a firm no on this one, but Tanner Krebs has got 14 as a starter. Chris Golding's got 23 off the bench. And I mean, it's a good problem to have if you're Dean Vickerman.
Absolutely. And they're 6-0 with Krebs starting. Just leave it like it is.
Handy to have options. And then get not allowed to spin. Knocked away by Bowen. Krebs for his third three of the quarter.
Give Walker a lot of credit. He could have gone in and finished around the rim, but he knew he's got Krebs on a heater. Back-to-back threes, and he said, well, three, let's try it again. And it was nothing but the bottom of the net. Great play by Walker.
17 points for the afternoon for Tanner Krebs. Career high is 23. He's knocking on the door of that right now. And again, just like that, that's 18 points the difference.
Yeah.
Golding attracts the crowd. Bowen with the jam. You sleep on Melbourne for 2 minutes and they will pile all sorts of pain on you. 88-68, Tangerine timeout.
I think it was quicker than that. 11 points in it, and all of a sudden back 3 threes, and it's a 20-point game.
How did we get to 20 so quick?
Tanner Krebs. Leave him in the starting lineup.
It's a heartbreaker for the New Zealand Breakers. Some of it self-inflicted, but...
And when you do if you keep coming back, like 3 or 4 times they get it back to 11 or 10, and each and every time Melbourne United come up with a big play, and when you're having to keep doing it and doing it, even just the psychology of that, eventually you think, it's not our night. It's hard to just keep pounding away, and that's what they got to do. I know it's a big margin, but still enough time. Almost 7 minutes to go in this one, so they got to dig deep to give themselves a chance in order to try and get back.
In the blink of an eye, Melbourne have put a 20-point margin on New Zealand. And Tanner Krebs, there's the quarter-by-quarter breakdowns. New Zealand won that third term. 13-5 in the fourth, and it's been all Krebs. He has 17 points. 5 of 6 from deep for the afternoon. Time is now for New Zealand, and that will certainly help their cause.
They got to pick it up on the defensive end, though. You just can't let him shoot the ball like that.
Good action, trying to keep the ball out of Parker hands, and just runs the back cut. Forced to help. Oh, he's blocking. Great first half, and really hasn't done. Oh my! What a pass! Oh, hello.
Get back.
The tale of the two teams. Perfect execution from Melbourne. New Zealand with the failure. And they dodge another Tanner Krebs bullet.
John Doyle. Made that look easy, but that's a long pass. And it was on point. Edwards just had to go up and tuck it in.
Notice how he gives the passer a lot more credit than the guy who has to get up in the air, catch it, look around to make sure nobody's under him, and then dunk the ball. He's always been like that. The passer gets more credit. And close your eyes and throw it up.
Lopez did well to wrestle that one free. 1 on 3 for PJC.
Oh,
somehow
Lord.
he finds a way to score.
How did he score that?
He's one of the toughest little buggers we've ever seen in this league. This man will never, ever go down.
No, it's a good move too, around the rim. I think it was a 3-on-1, and he finds a way to get to the rim, and three-point play.
A couple more of those in the...
Trail by 17. Some holding going on between Doyle and Jackson Cartwright.
Yeah, Doyle trying to get to the box and just post him up on the switch, and just held him.
Doyle with 12 points has just quietly gone about his business. He was the closer for them on Friday against Brisbane. Kyle Bowen continues to help Melbourne knock it down from everywhere. 15 of 28 they are for the afternoon.
Imagine the training sessions and the three-point competitions they'd have at training, the way this team shoots the ball from the outside.
It's hard to get a rebound at training.
Well, it is, and this has been a great three-point shoot game by both teams. 42 for the Breakers, 53. And to start this round, we see Tarangi try his hand at the three-point line. We're on par for the worst three-point shooting in the history of the league. So a long way to go, and you doubt very much that that'll remain, but it's been a rough start from the three-point line across the league.
The Breakers have been one of the worst at it. With that statistic is Brockington. Scores first points since half-time for Isaiah Brockington. Melbourne United looking to go 7-0. It is an incredible platform to start the season. They are 6-0 right now. The last time that they have done that, Copes, was the 2020-21 season, where they went on to win the championship.
Yeah, well, they certainly have the horses to do it. Team Bickerman can just turn around and go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and pick anybody he wants on that bench. Wow. Because the way he's playing, people.
Well, that's true, but
is it a little more scientific than that?
I think it is, but I think the start of the second half, when he experimented a little bit and just got off to a shaky start. You're right, in general, they all can play as Brockington knocks down.
And they all do play.
Three.
That's what I mean.
And they all do play, that's for sure. And they got depth, I think, really good depth at most positions. So they've got some margin for error. Like right now, Shea Illy's not here. They didn't have Chris Golding at the start of the season. And they're able to weather some of the injuries that not all teams can do.
When Shea comes back, though, who doesn't play? That's what I gotta ask.
Well, from what we've seen at the start of the season, everyone plays. It's just someone's playing not as much.
Breakers have very quickly put a 7-0 run on the board here.
Let's get you thinking about it.
13 just keeps it interesting.
Well, they saw this is what happened against Brisbane a couple of nights ago.
Melbourne get a second look at it. Dash Daniels. Well short on that 3. Next bucket for the Breakers here. And you'd expect a timeout coming.
Oh.
Now this is where we've seen it's now.
Was that a 2 or a 3?
Look, it must have had a pinky on the line.
Maybe.
Ooh. This is where Melbourne United have been great. When they get it back to 10, 11, they've come up with a big play. They get back into their half-court set. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's well on the line.
Yep.
Milton Doyle checking out of the game. 12 points for him this afternoon.
So just a little bit of nervous energy here at John Cain Arena. Good crowd for Melbourne this afternoon, and the victory lap can't quite start yet. The Breakers just doing enough to remain in this one. Shot clock beats Melbourne. There's something you never say.
There's advantages of playing a lot of guys, but there's a disadvantage as well, because sometimes it's hard to get a rhythm, Jordan. Sometimes when you're rolling and you come out and you sit on that bench and get cold, you got to get back into that rhythm. So, yes, it's great to have those guys and play 12 guys, but man, that's a straight carjack right there.
Stolen by Daniels. Walker lays it up, and a little settler for Melbourne.
Boy, what a reach the hands of Daniels.
Brockington with a score at the other end. Here's the response. It's still within 11, but it's still a double-figure lead for the home team.
But there's a fight, though, and that's all we ask for. Yes, Melbourne probably are the superior team, but show us that you want to be in this thing.
7 points for Finn Delaney. Melbourne have got 5 players in double figures. They've got 5 players averaging double figures across the season. PJC continues to do everything he can.
Well, if they're going to have a miracle, that's what they need. They need quick buckets. That's a foul on Parker Jackson Cartwright, it looked like.
We're both tangled up. We're both tangled up. Don't touch me. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. Just leave it. Yeah, just leave it. We're both tangled up. Just leave it.
Parker Jackson Cartwright, 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists.
Wow.
He's knocking on the door of a triple-double.
9 rebounds. That shows the energy and effort that he's put into this contest.
Breakers need a stop on this possession. Daniels left alone. Next star miss, next star rebound. Lopez looking to take on the responsibility. Finds Jackson Cartwright. Does a lap and jumps out. Lopez forces a turnover. Brockington tries to score, can't. Lopez still fighting for it. A missed opportunity for the Breakers.
Oh. Well, that was an ugly sequence, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if you push him out of court, I can't bring the ball back. Quite free.
United ball. Edwards with a sloppy turnover.
You see any cracks at all in Melbourne United's arsenal?
Well, at this point, when you're 7-0, there's not too many.
But the last couple of games, teams have sort of.
And a technical foul on Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Teams have sort of made a run, Julie, late in the game. Are they taking their foot off the gas, or what do you think it is?
I think it's just, one, it's a tough league, and there's a lot of talent. And you look up the scoreboard, you got a 20-point lead, and perhaps you're not quite as committed as you need to be, and you get burnt. But I think your point is valid, where the Breakers have had a lot of fight and spirit to try and stay in this one.
Final minute at John Cain Arena. Perth and Sydney still to come at Kudos Bank. Delaney, the no-look dive inside for Edwards. A couple of hard ones this afternoon, Jesse Edwards.
So replay 7, we have the normal foul on white 3.
Just have another look at this here, Melbourne. The referees, I should say.
Yeah. Potential upgrade. Oh, gee, I'm not even. It's clearly accidental, I should say. There's no.
That's a fact.
That's a standard foul. EJ Steve still arguing his case with the officials. Now look back at the start of that second quarter. Well, in fact, the back end of the first quarter, Melbourne went on an 11-0 run. There's some of the stars of Australian women's basketball. There's McGregor in the house, the WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, Alana Smith. Great to see them here today. Saw Shyla Hill sitting courtside today too. Timeout, New Zealand. 57 seconds left. They've had a couple of scares along the way, Melbourne, but now they can start to enjoy this on the Amy replay.
Yeah, and we look at what Parker Jackson Cartwright's been able to do. Outstanding individual performance, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. And he's battled his heart out. Just haven't been able to get everyone on the same page. And I think it's really, when they look back and they go through the tape, that first half, defensively in particular, is where I thought they just didn't set the tone for the game of what they needed to do.
But they are playing a lot better.
They're shooting a lot better, Coach.
Yeah.
And they've been poor from the three-point line. Second last in the competition in that category on percentage basis. And we were talking to Dylan Boucher before the game, and he was saying that Coach Coppinen at practice went out there because he's renowned for being a shooter. Went out there and knocked down 10 threes in a row at practice session and said, boys, this is how easy it is. Come on now. The coach did. And trying to inspire his players, and it might have worked.
Yeah.
They come out here and they're 12 of 29 at 41%. That's more than acceptable.
Lindsay ever do that?
Oh dear.
He dunked it too hard, didn't he?
No, Linz didn't do that.
Lynn trained with us.
Yeah.
He trained with us a couple times, though, didn't he?
It's going to be no bucket here. And it's going to be off the ball, I believe. Menenga, have a look here, the missed dunk. Just tried to throw it down too hard, Coach. And you know what it's like when we're up there and you're trying to throw it down too hard.
I know exactly what you're saying,
Coach,
Joyce.
make it stop.
No, I'm just saying, it's just a little too much.
Had that one day in Geelong.
One game in Geelong.
Signed off it ever since.
Hey, speaking of, we were talking about coaches playing. Remember when Lindsay used to play with us?
When we had
Robert Sibley with us, and Robert used to just want to run him off the screen. Just line him up. Come on. Lindsay was smarter than that, though. He knew it. He knew it was coming.
Oh. Delaney and PJC go down 4-on-4 up ahead. Tyson Walker has been setting everyone else up this afternoon. He wants a lick of the ice cream himself. Oh. They are putting another big number on the board here, Melbourne. Renowned for the defensive side of their game. They've cracked the ton again.
Plus holding teams to under 90.
Late one for Isaiah Brockington. But it's 7 wins without a loss. Melbourne United at this stage are the team to beat.
Great job by Melbourne United. Played 12, 13 guys. How many guys? 12
13
guys?
now, I think.
13 guys played unheard of in a 40-minute game, but guess what? It's working for them. Guys accept it. And he's 7-0.
104-88. They win today at John Cain Arena. A flawless start to the NBL 26 season.
And when you look at the parity that we all thought there was going to be before the start of the season, that is a spectacular start, 7-0, and really haven't been too many issues along the way. Their toughest one was the game one against the Jack Jumpers in one of the, if not the best game we've seen all season. And they've just grown from strength to strength from there.
A win by 16 today, so their margins across the season. 4 in the season opener. They beat New Zealand by 32 in round 1, 20 against South East Melbourne, 14 against Sydney, 35 against Cairns, 9 against Brisbane, and 16 again today. So they're not just winning, they are winning big.
Not on three, 1, 2, 3.
They certainly are, and that allows them the luxury to do what Dean's doing, to throw his roster around, keep people fresh, dedicate more time to practice because you're not necessarily playing as much, and it's a beautiful combination that they've got going on at the moment. And Chris Goulding, to have him resting on the sideline and come back in the form that he is in has been spectacular.
Here he is with Kelsey Brown.
Yeah, Chris, 23 points off the bench. It's an interesting one, but I can't believe some of the shots you've made today. I feel like you're really feeling yourself and aging like a fine wine. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. You know, we're just being cautious with minutes. I spent a long time in the off-season on the sidelines, so yeah, being smart with minutes, and the plus side of that is it's a great opportunity for guys to go out there and play some minutes in crunch moments, which I think is going to be great for our group going forward.
You've been in this league for a long time. You've been with this team for a long time. How are you rating this 7-0 start compared to other seasons that you've had? Heartbreak in the last 2 championship series, but yeah, how are you rating this start to the season?
I mean, there's obviously some things we look at where we know we need to be better coming towards the back of the year, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't really happy with where we are. You know, we know we're front-loaded with home games a little bit at the start of the year, so we want to, you know, just try and smash through them as much as we can, so we're in a bit of a rhythm when we hit the road in the back end of the year.
Last question, I want to ask about Shea Illy. How's he tracking? We saw him before the game. He was out there doing a fairly big session. How's he tracking at the moment?
I think he's all guns blazing, ready for a return. He's quicker than me at the moment, so, but, you know, once again, missed a little bit of time in the off-season, so we're going to have to be really cautious because we want a full squad at the back end of the year.
Absolutely amazing effort from you today, and congratulations on the win. Enjoy this one.
Thank you.
They spread the scoring around again. 23 for Chris Goulding. 5 players in double figures, but 6 made threes, and it all happened really quickly in that first half.
Yeah, he's the closest thing we have in this competition to Steph Curry. He can fill it up, and when he gets on a roll, I think he's the toughest to guard from the three-point line. He can do it off the dribble. They run a lot of action for him as well on the pin downs, and if you help out off him, they do a good job of finding him, particularly when he's knocked down a couple. So it's worked out beautifully for him. He's fun to watch when he's in that frame of mind.
As soon as he got one, Copes, he got two, and then he got three.
Absolutely, and he mentioned, you know, in the back end, that they're away because in January the tennis is here. So they got a lot of road games. So you're right, you want to take care of home, and they've done that. And look, everyone in the league knows how tough Melbourne United are.
That's game recognising game right there. Let's get over to Kelsey.
Here with Tanner Krebs and his little one, Ali. It's a newbie for me to be interviewing a baby and you, but I want to ask, Tanner, you've gone into this starting role with Chris coming off the bench now. How are you feeling in that? You look very comfortable.
Yeah, no, feeling good. You know, my third year here at the club, so I'm definitely comfortable in our system. Brought in some really good pieces, and yeah, no, a lot of confidence at the moment, but that's been built off like hard work in the off season, and yeah, no, I feel good. Just happy we're getting wins.
You knocked down some amazing threes there. You're really feeling comfortable from deep. But I want to talk about Tyson Walker. He's one that was really finding you. He kept going back to the well when you were hitting those. How is it playing with someone like Tyson Walker and how he's facilitating this team?
Yeah, it's super easy and super fun. Like, I know if I get in the right spots, he's going to find me. His pace is contagious, so I see him running and I just want to do the same. So yeah, a lot of fun to play with.
Lastly, you had 13 players hit the floor tonight, and we spoke in commentary about Dean Vickerman and how he manages those minutes. What is the buy-in like from the players, and what does it need to be like to have those 13 players get out there and do their job?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You see on the bench, everyone gets excited. You know, it's no coincidence that they're stepping on the floor. Like, if you come and watch our practices, these guys earn their minutes. And you see it out on the floor, like they're playing well, they're playing hard, and when they step on the floor, we don't lose a beat. So, yeah, it's lots of fun, and it's good to get everyone out there.
Absolutely love what you're doing. 7-0 to start the season. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
That's a great statement of their depth right there with Tanner Krebs being called upon to start with no Chris Goulding and more than playing a role.
My word. And he's the son of another gun. He's the old man.
Yeah.
Couldn't shoot it like...
How did you play against his old man, did you?
He was been around for a little while, but he's but he couldn't shoot it like Tanner. He's just found his groove, and another one, a product that's come through the St Mary's system, and he has just found his niche here at Melbourne United. And when you can knock down the three ball, there's a spot for you somewhere.
So Chris Goulding soaking it all in with Melbourne fans. They've got Cairns on Friday night in Cairns, and then next Sunday back here, a blockbuster. The benchmark comes to town. Bryce Cotton and the Adelaide 36ers will play Melbourne United. That is something to look forward to. We'll break this one down and talk about what's coming up next on the other side of this. It's Sunday Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.